How's it going, everyone? It's great to be here. If you don't know what this is, because I don't, this is tiids, the tiids debate session, the inaugural debate session. And I'm lucky enough to both oddly be the guest and the host tonight. So let's take it away. I would like to introduce both of our debaters, masters at their craft. We have Steven. Now let me tell you about Steven. Half of his Spotify playlist is sure to bring down the mood of any function. Husband to a married wife, and father to a mothered kitty. His favorite dipping sauce is literal mold, and he's such a Captain America stan that he almost fist fought his best friend in the theater after Civil War.
True story.
He's Treads. True
That's
story.
Treads. That's Treads, baby.
And on the other side, we have Scott.
What? What just happened?
If you think arguing with a rock can be frustrating, you've probably never argued with Snoop. While it's not impossible to get him to change his mind, it's pretty dang close. There are many hills he's willing to die on. And there are a few things he loves more than hating Apple, Sauce Gardner, and Game of Thrones, except maybe for hating Taylor Swift, English teachers, and Dave Portnoy. Oh, and almost hating 79-year-old Al Michaels commentary, basic grammar, and Harry Potter fans. And don't forget the University of Oregon's football uniforms, team cap, and Star Wars. But to go on, his favorite job was serving gravy to drunk college kids. His claim to fame is co-writing and starring in Benefactor, the musical, with some schmuck from high school. He holds the Guinness World Record for fastest average poop time, and he dreams one day of being able to fly. It's Snoop.
I'm honored. I'm honored for that introduction. Thank you. Thank you, Treads.
What are you thanking me for?
Thanks.
My introductions.
That's correct. I'd like to thank the doc. The doctor is in, and I'm excited to see what he's got in store for us.
The doctor is in. We are so excited. The inaugural... What was it called again, Doc? What's this called?
It's tiids.
Tiids.
The tiids debate session. Yes. And
the
we're going to
tiids.
milk it for all it's got.
If you don't like tiids, if you're not looking forward to some tiids on your screen, I don't know what to tell
Yeah.
you. I'm so excited.
It is kind of weird there's 3, but whatever.
Hey, the more the merrier. That's an extra one. Well, with that being said, I think, honestly, we don't know much about this. This is the doc's brainchild.
Yeah. I'm really nervous, honestly, to see what's going to go down here.
We are so gracious to have him just come up with this and take the reins on it. But that being said, we really don't know much about it. So, Doc, how's this working? What are we doing?
So what we're going to do, I've come up with 20 questions. Hopefully, they're dissimilar enough between your all's interests that will inspire some debate, some at least somewhat heated arguments between the two of you.
Never.
I'm going to start it off. I think you guys have usually or typically done a trivia question in the past to kind of determine who goes first or where that goes. So I've got that in store. But once we get that...
Usually. We did it once.
I mean, 1 out of how many episodes?
1 out of 4. Yeah, it's not bad.
Touche.
Yeah. I mean, 25% of the time, you've done it.
That's true. No matter how you slice it, that's true.
But we're going to get it started. Randomly select. I'm going to give the first debater an opportunity to express his views, and then you guys just go at it, however you want to go.
Okay.
Sound like a winner?
I'm excited. I'm
Let's
ready.
do it.
Okay. So, trivia question. The one that is closest in number to this person will decide whether they would like to have the first question or defer to kind of see how it goes. Now,
How do we buzz in, Doc?
everything's random. I'm sorry?
How do we buzz in?
Oh, just go for it. I mean, I don't think trying to organize it is really the play at this point. I've seen you guys go after one another before, and that's kind of what the goal is.
Love it.
That being said, I guess what kind of spurred this on is, 'tis the season. We're getting up close to our whole everyone's favorite holiday, Election Day, and there's just been a lack of debates. I mean that's just how it's been. So, we need that spirited American argumentative debate session, and I think that's what we're going to be able to accomplish here.
I'm so excited.
So that being said, of course, when I think debates, I think presidents, and when I think presidents, I think about alligators.
Naturally.
So whoever, absolutely, it's a natural progression. So that being said, what U.S. president allegedly had a pet alligator in the East Wing of the White House? And I don't need the specific name. I just need the number.
23.
So, 23. Scott. Steven?
It's probably a pretty decent guess.
I know, he's right in the middle.
We'll go 19.
19. All right, so the correct answer is John Quincy Adams.
Wow.
Everyone knows. Yeah, the sixth president. The sixth president.
Okay.
Apparently had a pet alligator in the East Wing bathroom of the White House. And all the guests that he didn't like, he would have them use that bathroom just to see the reaction, which is
That's honestly
such
great.
a
I respect
power
it.
play.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a great troll.
Yeah. All right, so Steven, would you
pretty
like
close.
to have the first question, or would you like to defer and have Scott have the first question?
And whoever gets the first, will the other person get a rebuttal chance at all? Like, how's this working?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, once
I'll
whoever
take the
finishes
first
their
question.
initial thought.
I will receive.
First
I will
question.
receive the kickoff.
Ooh.
Okay.
He wants that ball.
Let's do it. All right, so you guys can't see it, but I can see it. And in this corner is the wheel of decision. And what that is that's going to help me randomly pick whatever question. So let's get it going. Oh, lucky. Question number 7.
Ooh.
Steve,
Little notes.
your question is milk or cereal first?
This is a softball. We're taking cereal first. And if you think otherwise, then I will log off the call right now. If anyone's pouring milk in the bowl first, game over. We're done here. And full stop. There we go. I'll pass it off to Snoof.
Full stop. But unfortunately, we're gonna start off with a full agree. I think the only thing we could probably debate here is what type of milk we're using in that. But I think we also drink the same milk, do we not? I tend 2%.
Yeah, that's kind of what I grew up with, and I still would often buy. I'm okay with the 1% to cut down a little bit of that fat now, but I'm not really going less than that. So
What is the other 98%? How is it 2% milk?
it's not 2. It's 100% milk. Dummy.
No, it's 2% milk. That's what it's called.
No, it's 2% reduced fat milk.
It's 2% milk. Then there's
No.
skim milk. I don't know. What?
You think it's 2% of that is milk?
What do you think 2% means? I think 2% milk means there's 2% milk in
No.
that thing. I've always wondered.
2% fat.
We're gonna fact check this. Welcome to the. Well, yeah, we're treating this like a real debate. We're fact checking.
Okay, all right. Fact check. Let's do it.
I'd love to know what you think the other 98% of that is.
I always
if you think
wondered.
it's 2% milk.
2% milk. 2% milk is made with 2% milk fat. The remaining 98% is made up of water and minerals. It is 2% milk.
Milk fat.
But the remaining 98 is water.
Still, that
Not okay. So
No.
you get a ribeye steak. It's all steak. 40% of it is fat. You get a sirloin steak. It's still all steak.
right.
But there's hardly
like
any fat.
water is in like it.
The
It
2%
is milk.
is in relation to the fat, not the milk.
Right. Right.
But it's just okay. It makes sense, but it's kind of stupid. Can we at least agree on that? It's kind of stupid.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like because if
I'd
I
say
say I'm
98%.
going, yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm drinking 45% alcohol, I know the other 55% is water.
Or
So when
whatever.
you say 2% milk, it sounds like 98%
Yeah.
or apple
Yeah.
juice, whatever.
I'm not crazy.
I'm
stupid, but I'm not crazy.
Well, that's to be seen, to be determined. We still have a lot of questions to get through.
Right. Okay. Well.
So this is actually a special question. There is a second component to this first question. Could you describe cereal as soup?
You could. I could understand the argument. I would not.
Would you?
I would not.
It is. What else could it possibly be? It is something in
It's-
like a
I
broth
think-
or a liquid. If you had to break it down to like a what did I say that one time? It's like everything is a sandwich.
You said something dumb, probably.
A
What I'm-
sandwich, a salad, or a soup is how I think you could
No,
more
okay.
or less break down every food.
If you're going to reduce it to that, then sure, it's more of a soup than a sandwich. I think it's too narrow-minded though to think that every food has to be shoved into one of those
Well,
pegs.
yeah. That's not, when you go to the grocery store, it's not like soup and it's like anything that ever goes in liquid.
Right.
I know it's
Exactly.
like, that's not how it works.
Right.
But
Yeah, if you're going to call it one of those three things, then sure, it's obviously a soup. But I would
Okay.
never look at it and be like, "This is a good soup."
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't describe my bowl of cereal as soup either. But if somebody
just
did
said you
not
would.
know, if somehow somebody on the planet did not know what cereal was, but they had a bowl of potato soup in front of them, I'd be like, it's like that, but it's like
But
sugar.
very different.
It's sugar and milk instead of potatoes and broth.
I mean, touche, I suppose. How we doing, Doc?
I think great. I mean, honestly, I thought the milk or cereal first. Anyone that puts their milk down first and then the cereal on top, that's just an abomination.
No, yeah, you can't
You
have that.
got upper crunch and lower sog. That is the mullet of cereals. That is not. That is not where it's at.
There are some people like my grandfather. He used to let his cereal set out. He would pour the milk and like walk away. He'd go to the bathroom or whatever, and he'd let it get soggy because he wanted it soggy. I can't.
I'm scarfing that down immediately.
Yeah.
It's almost like a speed eating competition as soon as the milk hits.
Yep.
Like, I mean, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, for example, at least in my opinion, if you don't immediately eat it, you
Every
might as well
bite is
just, like,
worse.
shave. Yeah, you might as well just
Every
shave
bite is
cardboard
progressively worse. You're just
and
trying
like
to,
stick it in the milk, and then just take a shot of cinnamon and sugar afterwards. That's soggy Cinnamon Toast Crunch at that point.
yeah.
That's my
That's
calm
fair.
with cereal. Is the way I've always told myself. Like when you pour the milk, you got to immediately take that first bite. I'm like, you can't take a break. The moment you swallow what's in your mouth, you're getting another spoonful. You can't afford any time. You can't sit there and let me scroll my phone, let me do whatever, let me talk to somebody. No, you are
I will
eating that
say-
bowl of cereal for 10 minutes straight.
I will say, just a quick, I think it might be an underrated pick. My favorite cereal has always been Frosted Mini Wheats, and I think that actually is one of the better ones to not immediately get soggy. So
All that processed.
That's a good point.
It's got that. It penetrates. It stops the milk from penetrating it, like Clark Griswold made.
But you have to be so precise with that. Like, so precise because, like, in an ideal world, I have the Frosted Mini Wheats all sugar side up with the milk just below that sugar surface. So that way I got the sog underneath, that, like, kind of, like, chewy bit, but then that sweetness.
That's a lot of
It's
work.
not all getting in the milk.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's way too much work.
I don't know. We're not going to get through 20 questions at
It's
this
8 o'clock
rate.
in the morning, I'm sipping on coffee, it's way too much to think about for a cereal.
You're sipping on coffee as you're having cereal.
100%.
Ugh.
Hot and cold.
Dude,
Ugh. Yeah, no thanks.
Warm coffee with cold milk.
You don't understand my appreciation for coffee.
I guess not.
I mean, I think Steven can probably vouch pretty well. I'm rarely without coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well, are you guys
So
ready
is
for
Scott up
question
next?
2?
Let's do it.
Scott is up next. Back to the wheel. I wish you guys could see this.
We can see it.
Okay, we're at question 8.
Wow.
Naturally.
Big
All the way
jumps.
downtown.
Big jumps. Okay, Scott,
Hi.
has social media helped improve human communication?
Communication, yeah, sure. I think now, you want to learn anything. I'm sorry, like love TikTok or hate it. If you want to learn about anything, search whatever you want to on TikTok. The ease of like scrolling and just seeing tons of different opinions, tons of different videos, they're all pretty bite-sized. Versus you go on YouTube and one video is 40 minutes long and you got to scroll and try to find one or whatever. It takes forever. Yeah, communication, the ease of sending those things back and forth, sending memes or whatever. I think it's great. TikTok can be bad, social media can be bad, but as far as communication goes, yeah, I think it's been great for that.
So I largely would agree. I think my gut reaction is that yes, it has improved communication in the senses of what Scott has said, but I do think the other argument is that as we are more in tune with our social media, it has hurt our ability to communicate effectively in other ways.
Desocialized us, yeah.
Right. So I think like there's another argument that maybe in the aggregate of communication, if you will, it's maybe hurt us a little bit. But I think ultimately, like if you are using it to like get your news and send stuff back and forth, and we're more connected to the rest of the world than we've ever been. So I think it's almost an easy answer that yes, it's improved communication more so, but I do think there's some interesting negatives to consider as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Are we moving through this process like if you wanted this to be more or less our opinions and us talking, Doc, I appreciate that. But we love you so much, we're gonna want to know your opinion too.
Hey, I think we're at this weird kind of junction, right, with communication. I think right now my big thing is AI. There's so much misinformation out there, and just because there's communication, I don't think there's necessarily meaningful communication. So yes, I do think it helps communication. What you had to say, like I have learned so many tips, tricks, little switch arounds, recipes, whatever from TikTok. It's amazing.
Right.
But also there's so much garbage out there.
There's a lot of brain rot. Yeah.
And a lot of brain rot. Skibbity.
Very demure.
But I think it has great potential for communication, but I think it's very easily manipulated to fit whatever target audience and then goad them into the particular response you're trying to elicit. And in that way, it would hinder communication.
Yeah, so I think ultimately we're saying that social media gets a 3 out of 5 on the boom meter.
Boom, boom, boom!
Not a
It's
sponsor.
bad that I thought sponsored. All right. Okay. Are you guys content? to move on?
We're in agreement so far. So this is very
Find us a good
amicable.
one there, Doc.
The
I'll
wheel. It's
try.
not him choosing. It's the wheel.
I know.
It's up to the wheel.
Give us something good, wheel.
Yeah.
Wheellets, if you will.
Oh my God.
Okay. Question number 10. Is cannibalism ethical, Steve?
Oh
No.
God.
Never ethical.
No.
Okay.
I'll pass it.
Scott.
It depends on the situation. If we crashed on an island and Billy Joe Bob over there's about to die anyway, or if he's dead and I got to eat him to survive, yeah.
I think that's a pretty, is he dead or is he dying? I think that's a pretty big sticking point.
Yeah, well, that's where I think you said ethical. I think is it morally correct or not could be a different question in itself. Is it ethical? I think if it's, especially if the person is already dead and we're in a survival situation, I'm sorry, I'm not thinking twice. I'm going to fry up that butt cheek, baby, and I'm going to be enjoying it, and I'm going to extend my life by however long that gives me. I don't want to eat a
Okay.
person. I don't think it's ethical if you're doing it just to do it. But if in the right situation, yeah, it could be. Yeah.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I suppose there is a interesting old case in the law. It's like I think the guy's name's like Richard Parker or something. It was basically that, like it was a shipwreck, and whether the person had like a legitimate reason for like self-preservation essentially to consume someone else that was on the like lifeboat or whatever with him. So I think I understand the debate there. I mean, I guess in certain situations I can understand extending that. But ultimately, like as a base level for the question, I'm going to stick with my gut reaction of no.
I think it gets a 2 out of 5 ethical
No.
from me.
2 out of 5 ethical.
I respect it.
Okay. Nah, I mean, my big thing is, and not like I could if I wanted to. I don't want to sway any answers, but I should know better at this point. I'm not going to sway either of you. Yeah, but I'm with Scott. Like, if someone's dead and I'm hungry, there's no food. Yeah, they're getting fried up.
Mm-hmm. Making some booty fillets.
I don't know. I don't know that I'd start there.
Apparently that's the
I feel like
juiciest
that'd be
part.
tough.
Apparently that's like the
It's the
meatiest
juiciest part?
Yeah, like meatiest, which I know on me it is.
I mean, it makes like it's the biggest muscle, right? So I feel like muscles that are used more often are tougher. So that's my thing.
Do you? I don't use my butt that often. Are you a daily butt user?
I'm using it currently, yes.
Oh God. Anything else from you, Trent?
You don't
I've got nothing else. Nothing else on this one.
you're not at full clinch when you're just sitting.
Nah, the plug doesn't support that really. It kind of, yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving on. I'm hoping that's your
Good
chair
grief.
brand.
The plug. Could be my drug dealer. Could be anything. We don't know.
All right, Scott. Question 14.
Oh, okay. We're getting a little more diverse.
Yeah. The Kool-Aid Man. Would you say the Kool-Aid Man is the pitcher? Or is the Kool-Aid Man the liquid inside the pitcher?
I think
What is the Kool-Aid Man?
my gut would be he's the pitcher, because I think if memory serves, we've seen him like in different commercials and stuff be different colors. So I think he is the pitcher, and the liquid itself is like his clothing almost. It's like, he can be red or whatever, but he can also be purple. And he's still the same guy. It doesn't change his personality. It just changes his look a little bit. So give me that the Kool-Aid Man is the pitcher.
I'm with you on this one. I think elsewise, I don't know how we could explain the appendages and how they worked. He's walking around, has arms that move. So if we're only saying it's the liquid only, then it's kind of gets hard to explain that away. So
Maybe he's
yeah, I think I'm with
possessing
you.
that vessel of body.
I thought like maybe he's like controlling it somehow from a, yeah, I mean, I guess you could make some weird argument, but I think I'm pretty confident saying the pitcher is the Kool-Aid Man.
Very thought-provoking. This is giving a deep dive into our inner mechanisms and how we think, I think. With that being said, Doc, what's your answer?
I'm honestly shocked. Like, 100% the Kool-Aid Man is the Kool-Aid. He is the Kool-Aid Man. He is the
No.
Kool-Aid. 100%.
No.
Okay, that's a fair
No.
point, but he's called Batman. He's not literally a bat. Right? He is the man. He's not the bat part. He is the man part of Batman.
What about Man Bat?
Right.
Oh, God.
Well, yeah, but that's Man Bat. That's not Batman.
So then, in your opinion, does he do like what I suggested? Maybe he possesses the body of a glass empty vessel?
Oh, sure. Yeah, 100%. Like, he has reached into that vessel and he is able to control it
So then,
through hydraulics.
is he like Venom, where like if he were to fall out, could he like, trail into something else and take
Symbiote.
Put it back in.
Yeah.
I think to an extent. Like, I'm getting kind of like Frosty the Snowman vibes. As long as he doesn't go down like a storm grade or get evaporated up, yeah, he can do that.
I'm not buying it.
I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid.
I kind of hope he is. Honestly, Otherwise, this man is just like busting through stone walls with his whole body. Every time he's trying to make an appearance, like he's smashing through with his face, going, "Oh yeah,
Oh yeah."
and then yeah, that's just what he's doing. Nah, it is the liquid inside. He is protected by this glass armor, and he's busting up through walls, sharing his refreshing delight with all the children.
So then, how does his color change? Is that like at will, or are the different colors different personalities or different
The mood
versions
ring.
of the Kool-Aid Man?
I think every pack of Kool-Aid possesses a Kool-Aid Man. So regardless of color, whether he be blue, orange, red, purple, it is still the Kool-Aid Man. It still maintains all the same qualities. He can just change his clothes.
It's like Spider-Man changing his suit or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes
Changing
total-
his clothes, but if the no, I don't get it. I'm not buying it. You're not convincing me at all, bud.
Yeah.
Let us know. Let us know what you think.
Leave a comment down below. All right. So, Steven.
That's me.
That is you. Let's see.
I like how it went from it was the Kool-Aid Man, this or that, cereal before milk or what? Is cannibalism okay?
That was kind of the whole goal. I wanted to just always keep you guys on your toes between something fun, something different, or something very kind of serious.
I'm here for it. Yeah, no complaints here. I enjoy it.
Yeah. All right, Steven. Would you rather be blind from birth or lose your vision completely on your 20th birthday?
I think I would rather lose it on my 20th birthday. I think there's an argument that it would be harder to lose it once you know everything that you've been able to see, but I think just the ability to be able to at least recognize what things are in the world and to have memories of what things look like and just beauty that you could see, I think it'd be a lot sadder of a life if you never even got the opportunity to see all that. So
Do I know it's coming? Do I know in this scenario, I got 2 days of vision left?
I'd say no. I mean, often if someone has vision, typically, unless it's old age, they don't know.
Right.
So I'll say no. If you're 20 and you're going blind, there's been some kind of unfortunate accident.
how old was Wanda when she lost vision?
I don't even know who that is.
I'm gonna let that silence be very loud. Oh God. I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place on this one because I kind of, obviously, especially after you answered that no, you don't know what's coming. I would obviously hate if tomorrow I woke up and I couldn't see, but I would be thankful that I was able to see for as long as I could. That said, like Treads mentioned, yes, that means now I'm well, this sucks because I can't see anything anymore. But if that's
I promise though, if you were born blind, you would still be well, this sucks.
right, but you wouldn't know what you don't. You wouldn't know
Right,
what
but
you're
I think isn't that sadder?
to not know.
You wouldn't even know what you're missing out on.
No,
You wouldn't even have a memory of what the beauty and what things look like.
I think it makes it less bad. I do. I think that makes it less bad. If I never had any inkling, so I don't know how crazy it is or whatever. God.
I mean, I respect that, but I think I just disagree ultimately. But I mean, I understand your point, and I can't necessarily argue that it's wrong. I just think I would rather have at least known what the world looks like and what that looks. I don't know. You'd have memories for that. I don't know. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, but then I feel like that kind of goes in tune with how you yourself have talked about dreams before. How whenever you wake up from a great dream and you're like, well, now I'm back in real life.
Worse, yeah. I hate a dream.
I wish I had that back. That was nice. I feel like I'd be doing that all the time. I wish I could see my daughter's face.
Well, yeah, naturally, absolutely. But imagine I've never once have seen her face. Isn't that worse? I think that's worse.
That sucks
I think
either
what's
way.
hard for me with this.
Oh yeah, it's not
With this question.
fun choice.
Chime in, Doc.
It's hard for me to like try to take like imagine that I've never seen anything. What if you were blind from birth? What's your imagination like? What are you able to construct that world to be like? Because can you construct colors or hues or depth or all these visual characteristics, these beautiful landscapes or fine art, whatever? Like, can you construct that with either auditory or tactile sensations? I don't know.
I'm just trying to think of like scenarios.
You may never know.
Like it's a thing now where like like we can't see ultraviolet color or whatever, right? I think it's ultraviolet we can't see. For all we I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that when we get the pictures of the fancy telescopes taking the pictures of like the galaxies and stuff, and they're so colorful, I'm pretty sure those are like enhanced with like stuff that we couldn't see with our naked eye anyway. So, for all we know, we're living that right now. The world is 10 times more beautiful than we know. We just don't know it. So like it doesn't suck at all because we're like, oh, I like what I got, and I understand that the alternative is having nothing. We're talking about, but
yeah,
still,
I don't think that's like a fair 1-to-1 comparison.
It's not a 1-to-1. It's just like a point for like, right now, I guarantee you the world is more beautiful than we can actually see. But the fact is, we don't know that, so it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt
pretty
me.
beautiful,
I'm not like,
though,
I wish I could see ultraviolet. Like I'm not like that.
Right, but it's still seeing everything we can see. Still like pretty great. I don't know.
It's still pretty good. Tiids on your screen, for example.
Yeah. Bye.
What we're doing right now.
Oh. What a good one, Doc.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for the next one to be
good
like,
one.
is peanut butter better than jelly?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's not. Give me jelly all day.
It is.
Gosh, oh my gosh, better than peanut butter?
On the sandwich itself, I will say, okay. On the sandwich itself, my ratio of jelly to peanut butter is like 70-30 when I'm making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
My ratio is 100% peanut butter, 0% jelly. I don't even like it. It's terrible.
That's insane.
You don't like any kind of jelly?
I'm not a big jelly.
It's not
I just
mold.
don't like
You don't
the
want it on a
consistency.
sandwich.
And I assume this covers, like when we say jelly, it's like an umbrella term. Like that also includes any kind
apple
of
butter.
jams
I don't
or
know if
fruit
you what
butters.
your apple butter. I think apple butter has a different consistency than like jelly.
So
It's
it's
like-
the consistency.
I
More so,
think
or
so. And I don't like despise jelly. I just don't. I don't know. It's just not like when I think of jelly, I think of like grape jelly, I guess. Yeah, or strawberry. Those are the two that kind of come to mind.
Right.
And I'm just not a huge fan of either one of them. I don't know. I don't hate them. I just think I just like my peanut butter sandwiches with peanut butter. I don't know.
That's
And Scott, whenever you said on bread, I just got a mental image right away of you just in the kitchen, like Gollum style, huddled over to this open jar of jam, just like spooning it out. Like, this is so much better than peanut butter.
Just with his hands.
That is my ratio. My ratio is definitely more jelly to peanut butter. I was incorrect to say it's better than peanut butter overall because obviously you can put peanut butter with chocolate and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I get that.
Okay.
But I do prefer more jelly than peanut butter on my sandwiches, 1,000%.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. Nice little spin-off from there.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Question 2.
Scott. It might be. We don't know.
True.
Question 2. 20. Number 20. You were close. You were in the ballpark. Scott. Is time real or a human construct?
Gosh. That's really good. I think time... Is time real? Yeah? Yeah. I think the way we stress over time, like some of the ways we celebrate time, like I'm sorry, by the time you reach a certain age, birthdays are like, woohoo. Or like New Year's Eve is a big one for me. I don't get the hype around New Year's Eve at all. We completed a rotation around this. Okay. Whatever. But I think if we didn't break our time down into like increments to where like we could understand, okay, now I'm in my 30s, I'm still kind of young, and now I'm middle aged, and now I'm growing old or whatever. then you couldn't appreciate the stages for what they are or appreciate the whole thing. So time is definitely real, I think, but the way we have constructed it, I think, is sometimes stupid, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I largely agree with what you're saying there. I think it's obviously what we've chosen to define as time and how, obviously things do age and decay, and the, the planet makes its rotations and stuff. So all that is just objectively real. The exactly how we've chosen to set boundaries on it and clock it is obviously a more of a human construct. So I think there's elements of both there, but that doesn't mean that the things that we are tracking are inherently real, I think, at the same time. So it's that's a good question. I think there's pieces of both in that answer.
I can go with that.
Doc?
Yeah, it honestly, on its face, I'm conflicted. Like, I feel like time, from our understanding, is a way for us to wrap our heads around. Like you said, the orbit of the sun, or inherently, really, I mean, our aging, things changing. It's entropy, right? Like it's processes that are decaying, things that aren't getting as good at doing what they did before. And hey, this has happened after 20,000 moons, so I can see that. I understand that, but I don't know if I can say time is a real thing. It's just our justification of things changing, and we happen to have a relatable marker with it at the same time.
Okay, yeah.
Time is
Like
love.
if we could.
Go
What'd you
on.
say?
He's approaching
Just said
double
time is
digit,
love.
like absolute cringe comments in this episode very quickly.
I missed it. That's the worst part.
Maybe consider yourself lucky. I don't know.
Okay. Whenever I'm listening to this episode again on Wednesday,
There you go.
I'll try to catch it there.
Yeah.
So, is it safe to say on that one you both are kind of divided, or?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I think honestly it might be an impossible question to fully answer. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
think
think
there's
so.
definite arguments for both sides.
Okay. Okay. Ooh. I'm kind of excited for this one. I feel like I know where it's gonna go.
Hit me with it.
Both are Disney fans, obviously. Like we've heard about your love for Disney movies, Pixar movies. Are princesses good role models?
In the like Disney princess sense? Is that what you're asking?
I mean, just in any sense. I'm not saying more realistic princesses, but in more so, yeah, the Disney sense.
I mean, I think it depends entirely on the portrayal of any given work, honestly. I think the base, like what you think of as like, oh, the, princess that needs saved or something can be kind of problematic on some levels. But I do think that like a lot of these stories that we've seen of like princesses are more so, that character actually taking charge and doing something in the story, and they kind of often are like the hero of their own story, which I think is a good message for especially like young girls who maybe don't get as much of that in traditional stories and pop culture. So I think ultimately my answer would be yes, is typically in a lot of those movies and stories they are kind of the hero of their own thing, and I think that in and of itself is a good role model for children. But also I like at its like traditional sense of like, oh, this person just needs saved and they kind of have nothing they can do about it, I think not so much.
I'm gonna say probably 8 to 9 times out of 10 I would say no. Because I think either they are the damsel in distress who is just helpless, can do nothing, or like you see like when little kids are playing princess or whatever, the princess is like a dictator, and like she rules with like an iron fist, and like everybody else is just her subject who does whatever the crap she wants. I don't like that either. So like there are the occasional times where I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. Obviously, there are, like Tread said, there are times where they end up being the hero of their own story or whatever. But I think more often than not, they are not good role models. I would not like it if my daughter wanted to be like Sleeping Beauty or like Fiona's good. Princess Fiona's a good one, right? I think. Thoughts there, Treads? Is Princess Fiona a good princess?
I think she is, but also I think she follows the same story arc as most of the princess. You said 8 or 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
In fact, her story's essentially kind of the same arc as most of them. So I'm a little confused, I guess, on where the number's coming from. But
yes, like she's trapped and she literally. But on one end, like I don't know. I think being trapped by like a fiery dragon is
that's literally Sleeping Beauty.
Right, but then does Sleeping Beauty go on to like fight crime and like help stop a kingdom takeover with a bunch of other princesses like Fiona does?
I don't know. I'm not keeping up with the Sleeping Beauty mythology.
The Sleeping Beauty lore is not that up to date.
Let me check out Sleeping Beauty 4 and get back to you.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna say most times not. Maybe 8 out of 10 is a little high.
I mean, I feel like a lot, like more of the recent ones, like look at Frozen, look at Tangled, look at I don't know, is Moana a princess? Like I feel like most of the ones, the recent that I'm even thinking of at all, like every single one of them is that character taking charge and being the hero of their movie. It's like 10 out of 10 almost instead of 1 out of 10. I don't know.
Anymore, it might be, but I think the typical. When you think of princess, obviously, like especially the Disney princesses. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Moana would be one or not. That is a good question. I think obviously.
I mean, I think she's like the daughter of the tribal chief or whatever. So
right. So, yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
What's her name? Definitely.
Like Maui said, same difference.
Lilo.
Same.
Lilo.
Yeah. I don't know. Doc.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, honestly, I'm glad that both of you mentioned that. That's exactly where I was going with it. I think at Shrek, there's kind of a turning point there, right? Because, yeah, Fiona is the damsel in distress. She has to be rescued by this hero because she is so focused on trying to break this curse that she's under so she can have her happily ever after. But then she realizes that her idea of a happily ever after and everyone else's idea of a happily ever after are two divergent things. It's more about the person rather than the construct. And then after that, I do notice there are more and more princesses that kind of have that. Like in Frozen, you have Anna who follows that trope of, yeah, I'm going to marry the prince, and Elsa who goes out on her own and, kind of makes this whole castle, and she's doing everything on her own, and the prince ends up being a dickbag, and Elsa comes in and saves the day.
True.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible.
I think latter princesses, yes. I think older princesses, maybe not so much.
Yeah, that's perfectly valid.
Yep, I think it's fair.
Like, I don't think any father is like, yeah, go out into the woods and shack up with these other 7 guys that are minors. That's fine.
Probably not. Probably
not.
Definitely not. Hi ho, hi ho.
Or we could get into the Stockholm syndrome of Beauty and the Beast as well, but we can save that maybe for another time.
Ooh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. All right. Like I said, I was excited for that one. I mean, I was excited to have the weigh-in of the girl dad, and you did not disappoint.
Most portrayals of princesses that I personally have seen, I would not want my daughter to be like that. No, I would not.
Right. Yep. Okay. Question number 3.
Oh.
Cheesecake.
Yes.
Cake, pie, or something else entirely.
Ooh. This is mine, right? I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think. First off, I don't know a lot about pies. I am not a big pie person. I like peanut butter pie. which is some kind of like monster dessert that I'm not sure exists outside of my wife's family, but it's freaking good, and I do love that. That's about the only pie I like. So I'm gonna leave with that. That being said, I think it fits in with cake because there's a lot of different cakes. There's ice cream cake. There's all kinds of different cakes. There's the multi-tiered cakes with icing throughout. There's birthday cake. There's all kinds of different cakes in all kinds of shapes and forms. So I think that cheesecake is more cake than pie from my point of view. But again, me not being that big into pie, one of you gentlemen might be able to provide some points as to why it is more of a pie.
I almost kind of like the option of something else entirely that you gave. But if I had to choose cake or pie, I think it's more of a pie than a cake. And I'll give you ice cream cake as something completely different in and of itself. That's another one that I think is being very liberal with the term cake. Cake to me is that like the, I don't even know, like, you know, the more of a breading type of consistency, I suppose. Whereas like, although I don't really know if cheesecake fits in with like pie either, but like you said, like peanut butter pie is also not like a, you know, apple stuffed in a hard shell
Right.
of like what you're thinking, like a fruit pie or something.
Right.
So I think those things, like I'd almost say it's more like that, like a pudding pie or a peanut butter pie, like those things that are, I don't know, like not like the bread like consistency. Like that's all I'm considering like a cake. Like when you consider that kind of breading type dessert. So I don't know. What are you thinking, Doc?
I mean, can we all just admit that ice cream cake is just ice cream with lipstick on it? Like, it is just a slightly fancier version of ice cream.
I honestly hate ice cream cake. I don't like it.
There is one good part of the ice cream cake, and it's that, like, gooey kind of
that crumble stuff in the middle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's the best part.
That is the
I mean, I
only
will
good part
say
of ice
it's.
cream cake.
I don't dislike it because it's ice cream. As in, it's just ice cream. It's not something special. It's not something different and special.
It.
Right.
Fair.
I'm just gonna say. I think you're just acting like
there
it's
are so
worse
many
than ice
other
cream is
better
weird
options
because
for
it's.
me.
Yeah,
Right.
that's valid.
I just think ice cream cake, you go to Dairy Queen and you get this ginormous ice cream cake for however many people. And if you're the one that keeps the cake, I
$700.
promise you're not eating that cake again. I promise you're not. You are eating it that first night. You might shove it in your fridge and your freezer and tell yourself, I'm going to have another slice. No, you're not, because it's bad. It's bad the second
My
slice.
sister will eat the rest of the slices. I promise.
That's,
Yeah.
She will eat the whole cake.
I will not. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, to her, what I just said is utter blasphemy. Like, she might just stop listening right then if she's tuning in for this episode. But
We're sorry. We love you. I will defend the ice cream cake. It's not my favorite quote unquote cake because that's not really a cake.
Right.
But I don't have any ill will toward ice cream in general. So
no. But as far as cheesecake goes, I feel like it's its own entity.
yeah.
I wish we could have come up with something a little bit better than cheesecake. But if I had
Or
to go
cheese
between
in general.
Yeah. Cottage cheesecake. I would go with pie. It's pie.
Okay.
It's just a real thick pie. It's got 2 C's.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah. Thick.
There you have that.
There you go.
There you go. Get a little caramel on there.
A little caramel. That's one of those. That's one of those. I think I say both. I think I would
I
say
do too.
caramel.
I think I caught myself saying both.
alternate
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the time. Like
Agreed.
when people are like, "What do you say?" I'm like, either.
Yes.
Cart,
Yeah.
buggy, soda, pop, caramel, caramel. I will never say pecan.
It's fun to say pecan
See?
pie though.
Yeah,
That's the
it
one.
is.
Like I don't call it a
It's
pecan.
fun.
But pecan pie.
Pecan.
But I'll never say it
Good.
generically. Like
Go get some pecans. Yeah. No.
we're running through all my kind of more philosophical questions, so the latter part of this is just going to be like straight up bar arguments. I mean,
I love it.
Steve.
Who's that? Me? Yeah. Okay.
Steven, what is a more powerful force, creativity or intelligence?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't think you can have one that's very strong at all without the other one. I think if you're uber creative, but you are very low on intelligence, it's going to put a cap on anything you're able to even create. But if you're just pure intelligence without creativity, you're basically an AI bot or something, and that's not great either. So I don't really know. It depends on if you still get a good chunk of the other one with whatever one you choose. But I mean, I really don't even know how to decide. But I guess I'm maybe leaning more toward intelligence being slightly more powerful, because I feel like creativity in and of itself, you're just like, I don't know, there's not much substance there. But it's a weird question. It's a good question, but it's a weird one to answer.
I would say creativity, and I think to me it's creativity, not completely easily, but I think I'm like creativity, because I agree with what Tread said of if you have all the great creativity in the world but you're Forrest Gump, what are you gonna do with it? But then again, like I think if you're Batman but you really can't come up with nothing, it's like, well, what's the point of being so smart? Whatever. Yeah. But I think, and again, I'm going to use like Batman as an example of this. Like, I think you can be really smart, but if somebody is creative, this is so, I'm going to geek out for 2 seconds. That I don't even know what show it was, what movie it was, but it's that one where there's like multiple universes of the DC universe, and that one version of Batman has Batman and Flash like tied up, and Flash fakes his heart flatlining, and that Batman thinks it's real and runs in there and unstraps him, and then he beats him up and he switches bodies. And Batman literally says, like, who could have predicted that? I could not have predicted that. I think that's an example of creativity being better than intelligence. I'm not saying that's like, so therefore it's better. I'm not saying that's like nail and coffin.
But my thing pushing back on that is like, I don't know if that's creativity more than intelligence.
I don't think the Flash is smarter than Batman. I think that was a creative.
I'm not saying
way
he is,
to
but
use
that
your
was
powers.
he. If you're not intelligent to even know to do that, then you know what I mean.
But I think Flash says, Batman says like, I didn't know you could do that, and Flash says neither could I. I don't think it was like a set like, I'm gonna do this, and then this is gonna happen, and then yes, I'm gonna do this. I think it was more like, I'm gonna try this and see if this works. So like I would brand it as more like creative than intelligence. And again, I'm not saying based on this one very random example that means creativity is better than intelligence. I like examples like that of like not necessarily outwitting somebody, but just catching them off guard. So then maybe you're not smarter than that person, but you caught them off guard because you were thinking outside the box.
I guess though, yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying. I think that though, in situations like that, I think that's where in my mind I'm saying that's where intelligence and creativity overlap.
Yeah.
So that's like you wouldn't get that situation if you are cutting out intelligence and just taking creativity. But I think creativity, being pro creativity, is more of like the human answer. Like that's what you kind of want. But I don't know. I just think it's so hard to separate either one of them and say one's better. But that's a cheater's way out. So
a very lawyer answer.
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. But no, I get where you're coming from. First off, I wish that I could see Batman incorporated into more debates. I'd probably be a lot more likely to watch them.
We can make that happen.
Yeah.
I think we need to. I'm going to start writing to all the major news outlets and let them know how to get views up. For me, personally, this question, it's tough. Yeah, I think if you're, to put it in Madden terms, what's the good of having 99 speed if you have 0 acceleration or vice versa?
Right.
You have to have both to an extent, but
yeah, it's a balance.
If you have one, I almost think creativity, because I think intelligence puts you in a bubble to understand what's around you, but then you can never move from that bubble. Creativity, it lets you expand, but you might not understand necessarily what's going on around you. It's tough. Like I don't.
I think if you get like,
obviously there's not a right answer, but and maybe just with what I do, I feel like creativity more so.
I feel like if it's 100 of one and 0 of the other, I'm taking intelligence honestly, I don't even think it's that close. But if it's you get 75% of one, but you still get like a 25% chunk of the other one, I think that's when you have to have some of that intelligence to even make creativity worthwhile. So then I think if you're still getting something of the other, I think that's when creativity will take it. So
Yeah. I'm going to
Fair
agree specifically with what you... I think what you meant just now, Doc, is like with what I do, you meant like your profession. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. I think that being like thinking outside the box and finding a solution to this problem is definitely more of how I work than just like knowing the solution to that problem or knowing, well, I can do this. So
I would rather have a dentist though that was all intelligence and less like, well, let's see what happens if I pull this or that. I don't know.
You'd be shocked, man.
I mean, I'm sure you have stories, but at its base level, if we're taking an idiot that's I'm sure
get
this
what
connects
you're saying.
somewhere.
Like, you don't want
No
this
thanks.
idiot savant like working in your mouth and like through some dumb luck, like creative way, he's able to do this root canal or extraction or,
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
But also like, I don't know. It like I feel like I'm riding the line between art and science, and it's I don't know.
Yeah, valid.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. It's a tough one.
that's another good one. Yeah.
It's neat. Yeah.
You said these
It's
were
a
getting
thinker.
like stupid. I disagree thus far.
Oh, these aren't. That
Oh.
like I feel like we're getting all the really deep
Oh, you're saying
questions
that
out
was
of the
one.
way,
Okay,
and then
I
it's
got
gonna
you.
get real dumb.
I got you. Okay.
Bring it. I'm ready for some dumb ones.
Yeah.
Ready? I am too. We're what, like about halfway through at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He's disappointed.
Oh boy.
No, it's Scott. Can our senses be trusted?
God, what does that mean? What the crap does that
Can we
mean?
trust our senses?
I'm gonna say
Sight,
no.
taste.
To me, I'm gonna say no and immediately point to colorblind people. I'm like no. Because
Isn't that the exception though?
that's well, I think a lot of people. I don't know what the statistic is, but I think a decent number of people. I think more people than we tend to think are colorblind to some degree, and I think that plays a role. And back to what we were talking about earlier, like well, you might not know it. That's a whole thing too. Like, not to this exact degree. But for all we know, like what I call red doesn't look exactly red to you. It looks a little different. But it's what I know. That's all I've ever known. Your eyes, my eyes. If you're saying do you believe what you see, then yes. Are my eyes good? No, they freaking suck. Can we trust our senses? I'm gonna say no. I guess overall.
I don't disagree with anything you've said, but I think I'm leaning yes, at least as far as like, can I trust my own senses? I comparing them, yeah, like is how I taste something identical to the way someone else does? I have, who knows? But I don't know if that necessarily is a knock on being able to trust it. If I know for a fact that one food tastes like this every time I eat it, I can trust that something that has this in it is probably going to give me that taste. Or, same thing, like I trust what my eyes perceive, even if they're not good eyes. I don't know. So largely, I think you can trust your own senses to a degree as far as giving you what you expect them to. Something that you touch, if you touch a flat surface, a smooth surface every time, it's going to feel the same way. I can trust that it's going to do that. But at the same time, like I understand saying, you comparing them to how other people perceive the same things, maybe not so much.
And then it's weird too because a lot of them work like in conjunction with each other, right? Like what is it if you like plugged your nose and ate like an apple and a potato? Apparently they taste the same, or whatever. It's something like that. It's weird that a lot of them like work in conjunction with each other. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think for me, we have to trust what's in front of us. Like we have to trust what our sensory input is, right? But I think also it's so easily to manipulate our senses just because of what we are.
Right.
Yeah, valid.
And that's where I stand with that.
No comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those great questions where like I think we all three produced points just now, and I'm like, yeah. I think this is a good like I'm not dying on any hill. I don't think anybody is. And he's just like, yeah, that's a teaser.
It was a very constructive question.
Yeah.
We have tiers to our senses and whether or not we can trust them. And that's IE, not EA.
Ah.
As far as tiers go. Yeah. Oh, goody. Here we go. Steven.
Bring it.
Would you rather have a fully functioning penis but on your forehead, or no penis at all?
Man. Guess I'm taking it on the forehead. I don't know. Maybe we could wear a turban or something. I don't know.
Oh, what's the name of that dude from Harry Potter?
Stuttering
Yeah.
Professor
okay.
Quirrell.
That's your good.
I guess I gotta rock the turban, I guess. I don't like it. I don't like that answer. You could convince me the other one's right. I don't know.
I'm trying to think while keeping it PG-13 of how Boom Boom would work with that. That'd be... That'd open up a whole new world of positions. I don't know.
It's always gonna be like a pecking motion.
Right. I think my neck would get... Your neck would have to get huge. Like, your neck would be really...
Oh,
like,
gosh.
I think.
Get some traps.
Yeah. Yeah, I would rather have
Yep.
one somewhere than none at all. Even if it is
Really?
in the most ridiculous place it could possibly be, which would be on the forehead, I think. I agree with Treads that I would probably try to find a way to cover it up. If I can't...
Sir, this is the national anthem. Remove the headwear.
You
Just
asked
not
for it.
Extremely patriotic.
No. You're in church. Take that hat off. I would say if I had to live in a society where like it couldn't be accepted, then I guess I would move to a society where I'd move to like what is it, like Norway or somewhere that has like a lot of nude beaches. Maybe they're a little more into the nudist.
Oh, a nice piece. Yeah.
Hey.
So what if I just change it up a little bit and let's pretend neither of you are married? Would you still go with penis on forehead?
I don't know what that changes.
I mean, I guess you're
You're going.
you would just be like a
You're gonna have
eunuch
to get this-
basically.
Ken doll, yeah.
Like we're not changing anything about like how we identify ourselves or anything. You're saying like I'm still
Like,
fully a male without that.
yes.
Okay.
You
I
would
guess, I
have
mean, that-
all the same biochemical markers, hormones.
Your
all that.
life, I
You
guess, would be a
still-
lot easier. It would be a more sad, I guess, existence, but it would be like your day to day would be a lot easier. So I don't know.
Would it
I don't know if
though?
I'm-
Neat
Because
party
the key word you just said for me was hormones. Yeah, whenever
Yeah.
I'm 50 years old and the horny has ran out, I won't care anymore. But up until that day, that'd be tough. I don't know. You're either battling something on the outside or you're battling something on the inside. You're battling the hormones, or you're battling the penis on your forehead.
Depression.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, at least for me, like, let's just be real. Like, that's gonna make the dating circuit real hard. So,
Hey, there's
you
probably
don't
some women
already-
out there into that.
I
There
do
probably
have
is.
one small piece of baggage.
literally.
They're like, oh yeah, what? They're like staring at it. I'd say there's definitely some women out there that would be into that. So you
That's
fine.
fair.
The pool's a lot smaller than it would be otherwise, but the pool's none if you don't
Yeah.
have one. The pool is none.
I don't know.
Oh, Wheeler Walker Jr. would be out there finger blasting.
I think the pool. You said there's some people that would be into that. There's probably people that would be into whatever. So I don't know.
Into no
Ken
penis?
Yeah, probably. Not even probably.
Okay.
There's someone for everyone, but
There's okay.
So now the bad thing is, the next time I see this like dude with huge traps and a huge neck wearing a ball hat, I'm just
turban.
gonna wonder. Or a turban, yeah.
Just gonna knock it off accidentally. Oh, sorry, sir.
See what happens.
My God.
Just like give him a forehead tap and see what his pain level is. Is it normal or like
Yeah, are the
excruciating?
nuts there too? I guess the nuts are on my forehead as well.
They kind of have to be. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Next question.
Next. Well, that's too bad. We'll have to wait until the next section of tiids for us to be able to move on from this question. But hang in, ladies and gents, because we will be back. There will be more questions. There will be more arguments, more tangents. But we're staying right with the penis forehead. Until next time.
Good night, everybody.